So as you may know, the sole purpose of this channel is to find assets in the early stages of a mega trend that can provide the true life-changing returns. We've seen it happen in the past. Early stage investors in Amazon, Google, even people investing in uranium miners back here, 100x their money. So it's all about being early to a massive global trend. So what is one of the biggest mega trends on the planet? The nuclear renaissance. Nuclear energy is going to power just about everything. Data centers need nuclear power. The massive artificial intelligence boom is only possible with nuclear power. The greenification of the world, only possible with nuclear power. Now, within the mega trend of the nuclear renaissance, there's another exponential mega trend. That's brand new small modular reactor technology, right? Portable, smaller nuclear reactors that can fit on a cargo ship, fit on a spacecraft, sit right next to a data center, and power anything. It's breakthrough revolutionary technology. It's extremely important. And so we've been staying on top of some of the highest quality assets in this space. So heading into 2025, what are the best possible small modular reactor companies that we can acquire today for potentially life-changing returns? Well, I've compiled a list of the 5 highest quality assets ranked in order from worst to best. They wouldn't be on this list if they're not extremely high quality to begin with, but just in my own humble personal opinion, which of these are the highest quality? If they're on this list, they should do totally fine. Some assets are just slightly higher quality than others. So first on the list, Nuscale Power. Market cap $2 billion, no earnings. So Nuscale is just getting started, still in the early stages, pre-revenue, as all these assets are, right? This is brand new technology. But when finding an asset in the early stages of a megatrend, what we want to see is adoption and future revenue potential. So who are Nuscale Power's biggest customers? They include Standard Power, a blockchain data center service provider with which Nuscale has a $37 billion contract. The contract includes plans to build 2 plants in Ohio and Pennsylvania that will produce nearly 2 gigawatts of clean energy. That right there is enormous. Here's another massive customer, Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems, a consortium that supplies wholesale electricity to around 50 municipalities. Nuscale has a $9.3 billion agreement with UAMPS. Nuscale is also working with Entra One Energy, a global strategic partner that develops, finances, owns, and operates energy production plants with Nuscale technology. That is plenty of adoption, right? A lot of new technology assets can only promise future customers. Nuscale already has some heavy-hitting customers before they've even launched their product. That is massive. Fluor is the majority stockholder in Nuscale. So essentially, Nuscale is backed up by Fluor. So who is Fluor? In 2023, Fluor had revenue of $15.5 billion, a massive company. In 2023, Fluor's total assets were valued at nearly $7 billion. In 2024, Fluor was ranked 265 on the Fortune 500 list of the largest American companies. So that's really important when looking at an early stage tech company. You want to see major backing. You want to see deep pockets, because if you don't get those deep pockets, a lot of times these companies have to dilute their shareholders, print shares, dump them on the market. The more they dump on the market, the more selling pressure and the more potential share dilution, right? Well, if you're backed by a multi-billion-dollar behemoth massive company and you already have future revenues lined up, it's much more likely you're going to survive and thrive in the future without diluting your shareholders. So that is just massive, truly high-quality company. That's why it's on this list. Next on this list, Oklo Inc. Here's just one update from Oklo. Trump picks Liberty Energy CEO and Oklo board member Chris Wright as energy secretary. So essentially, the most influential energy person in the United States sits on the board of Oklo Inc. Oklo is an SMR company that we've been covering. Oklo reactor pipeline swells to 2.1 gigawatts as demonstration project advances. So there's already a pipeline of revenue and demand for Oklo's SMRs. The sweet spot for early stage investors isn't finding assets that are promising future growth and revenue. It's assets that already have future growth and revenue lined up, which de-risks the asset. So Oklo clearly has future revenue lined up. As we've covered in previous videos, they also say they have enough cash to get their product to market in 2026 or 2027. They're not likely to have to dilute their shareholders either, at least according to their management. Now, Nuscale has massive partners. Who does Oklo have? Well, OpenAI, Oracle, and Microsoft partnership redefines innovation in the AI ecosystem. What does this have to do with Oklo? The head of OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT, which is probably the biggest artificial intelligence company on the planet, most influential at this point, is also essentially the founder of Oklo. Right, so what's good for OpenAI is good for Oklo. The founder of OpenAI, Sam Altman, clearly understands the needs of artificial intelligence companies. He realizes that we're going to need almost infinitely scalable electricity generation. And so he's building the infrastructure for the future. That's what Oklo is. And so OpenAI is deeply integrated with Microsoft and is partnering up with Oracle, which is one of the biggest data center providers on the planet. Oracle to build nuclear SMR powered gigawatt data centers. Now, Oklo has been kind of private about who its customers are, probably because their massive customers don't want to move the market by letting the world know which company they're going to use. But if I had to guess, Oracle, which is building SMRs to power its future data centers, has OpenAI as its biggest customer, which means Oracle is highly incentivized to please the leader of OpenAI and use his data center company. That's the power of having massive connections. That's what Oklo has. So as great as Nuscale Power is, with Fluor as its big backer and a future pipeline of customers, Oklo also has major backing and an enormous potential pipeline of revenue. And they're also flush with cash. They have hundreds of millions of dollars on their balance sheet, and they say that's enough to get into production, which means that they're not likely to dilute their shareholders either, right? These are two very high quality SMR companies. Now, when looking at small modular reactor companies, it's impossible to ignore Rolls-Royce Holdings. While it may be difficult to value something like an Oklo because they're really pre-revenue and their market cap is $2 billion, it's very easy to value something like Rolls-Royce Holdings, which has a market cap of $62 billion and a price to earning ratio of 20.71. So it's fairly valued already. There isn't a lot of premium in this stock. You're not overpaying for this stock. Now, who are Rolls-Royce Holdings' primary small modular reactor customers? Again, a gigantic company with deep pockets in a variety of different fields with plenty of backing to make this a success. Rolls-Royce SMR is engaging with export customers across many continents, including Czech Republic, Estonia, and Turkey. The Czech Republic's CEZ Group is a partner in the Rolls-Royce SMR project and is expected to have the first reactor operational in the mid-2030s. Now, also in the UK, Rolls-Royce is a United Kingdom company. The government protects its massive behemoth companies. Rolls-Royce aims to supply SMR power to the UK grid by 2030. The company is also setting up a prototype SMR manufacturing facility in Sheffield, United Kingdom. The partnership between Rolls-Royce and CEZ, which is the Czech Republic utility, will strengthen ties between the UK and Czech governments, create an international supply chain, develop skills in both countries, and generate economic growth. So Rolls-Royce is operating at the global scale. Talk about connections. So again, a very high quality asset. We don't know exactly which one of these is going to be the true winner. There's probably room for plenty of them. Now, what's the next highest quality nuclear SMR company? It has to be Cameco. Brookfield Cameco partnered to buy nuclear service company Westinghouse in $7.9 billion deal. So Cameco owns something like half of Westinghouse. Westinghouse's biggest customers for small modular reactors include Poland. Westinghouse will build 3 AP1000 reactors for Poland with the expectation of at least 3 more. These are massive deals. Czechia. Westinghouse has supplied nuclear technology, services, and fuel to Czechia for over 3 decades. Westinghouse's AP300 SMR reactor will provide carbon-free energy to power at least 1.95 million homes in Czechia. Ukraine. Once this war is resolved, Westinghouse and Ukraine's Energoatom have agreed to deploy 9 AP1000 units in Ukraine, so they're massive in Europe. Westinghouse also has other customers, including China. 4 AP1000 units are operating in China. 6 more are under construction. Again, multi-billion-dollar deals. That's what we're talking globally. Georgia, 2 AP1000 units are operating at Plant Vogtle in Georgia. Canada, Westinghouse is developing an eVinci microreactor in Saskatchewan with SRC. Ontario, Westinghouse is exploring areas for nuclear cooperation with OPG, one of North America's largest electricity generators. There is major adoption of these assets. Westinghouse, of the 3 we've covered so far, has the biggest pipeline of customers, and they're backed by Cameco, which has deep pockets, the second largest uranium miner on the planet with a market cap of $23.7 billion. And they have earnings, they're profitable, and they have a dividend, a small dividend right now of 0.21%. So it's hard to beat that massive pipeline of global customers, in addition to backing by a multi-billion-dollar company. So Westinghouse, hugely high quality. What is currently leading as the highest quality SMR company? BWX Technologies Inc. I've not done a deep dive on this company on my channel yet, but just wait, because this asset is mind-blowing. So who are BWX Technologies' major customers? U.S. government. BWX is the sole manufacturer of naval nuclear reactors for U.S. submarines and aircraft carriers. They also work on the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program and research test reactors for national labs. So they've been building small modular reactors since before most of these companies were even thinking about it. Essentially, this is the company powering our nuclear vessels, our nuclear submarines. They're reasonably valued. They have a dividend of 0.79%, so they're paying you passive income to wait, and their market cap is $11 billion. What other customers does this massive company have? Commercial customers. BWX supplies components and fuel for clean energy to power homes and businesses in Canada and around the world. They also produce nuclear medicine. Again, we'll have to cover this in a deep dive. Pantex plant. BWX is part of a joint venture that manages and operates the Pantex plant, which maintains the safety, security, and effectiveness of the United States' nuclear weapons stockpile. That's how enormous this company is. OPG's Darlington and Bruce nuclear plants. BWX supplies components for refurbishments at these massive plants. BWRX 300 small modular reactor. BWXT was selected as the first qualified supply chain company for this reactor. U.S. Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program. BWXT was awarded a contract for the manufacture of naval nuclear reactor fuel. BWXT is a nuclear technology innovation company that uses state-of-the-art technologies and innovative solutions. They have 14 major operating sites in the US, Canada, and the UK. This is a massive company that does not get enough credit. It's profitable. Talk about customers. It has some of the biggest customers on the planet. Hard to beat the US military as a customer. If they've already been able to power nuclear submarines, think about what else they can do with this technology, right? So extremely high quality, way less risky than some of these others. So stay tuned for a deep dive into this company so we can see exactly what its potential is and what its financials are saying. So as of right now, looking at 2025, these are the highest quality small modular reactor companies on the planet.